first start of the year. Girlfriend's gonna be driving the Taurus during the summertime. She started right up after one set of cranking, got enough fuel to the carburetor, and she's running just great. Oh yeah, and everything still works. I gotta cover the seat up at some point this year. The goal is to get the seat covered, recovered. Yeah, it runs pretty great. That wind whistle's a little louder than I remember. Nothing to worry about though. The radio still sounds good. Yep, it's exactly as I remember, except for that wind whistle. I also gotta look into maybe pushing the seat back a little bit. So I know on the GM cars, the Fisher body manual, there are two sets of holes where you can move the seat forward and back an inch. I'm not sure which position this is in. It might be in the further forward position. And if it is, I would like to buy it in for shipping. If it is, I'd like to move it to the more rearward position so that I can have a little more legroom, stretch out a little more. Yeah, the flat spots are pretty bad in the tires. They'll wear out though over time, over these first few miles. And then I still have a little bit of a shake, but I'm thinking it's the tail shaft bushing. So I gotta replace that because it's still, I put a new seal in, but it still leaks at the yoke on the tail shaft, at the output shaft. So that's usually a sign there's some unwanted vibration, and it's got new U-joints, and I'm pretty sure the drive shaft is pretty straight. So that leads me to think it's tail shaft bushing, because if that's worn, it'll cause a leak and it'll cause a vibration at 50. And it sort of seems like at lower speeds the car turns to lurch a little bit, like it's binding and then releasing and binding and releasing. So I'm thinking it's playing, the tail shaft is worn and it's playing with my driveline angles. That's about my best guess at this point. Yeah, so we'll do that. Man, it's nice to be back in an old car. Very nice to be back in an old car. Especially one that has acres of brown. Oh yeah, she started right up. She'll be ready for a 4-barrel conversion this summer with that aluminum intake I picked up and the hodgepodge quadrajet that I'm going to build. Oh yeah. And there's Sierra back there in the Taurus. Oh yeah. Nice to be back in an old car. A little later this year than last year. Last year I got it out, I think, March 1st, and this year is April 2nd. So I lost about a month compared to last year. And yeah, last year, the 21 to 22 winter was really short. I put the Cutlass away like on December 4th, December 5th. And then the salt trucks came out, and then I got it out on like March 1st or that first week of March. So it was only away for 3 months. This winter it was away for a little bit longer, unfortunately. But it's good to have her out now. Man, I gotta fix that leak. New weather stripping. Alright, so tune-up is done on the Cutlass. Cleaned the points, relubed the distributor cam. Actually, I used to always use regular lithium grease lubricating the distributor cam. And whenever I would go to do a tune-up, it'd always be dry. But I recently, last time I did a tune-up, I put this distributor cam lube on there, specialty stuff. And I went to go put some on this time, and it was still wet, still lubricated. So having the right grease makes a difference. Mixture looks fine on the plugs. The timing's a little advanced. The dwell was also off. Dwell was at 18 degrees. So dwell got reset to 20, or to 30, sorry. Timing is 12 degrees at 1100 RPMs. The book calls for 10 degrees at 1100 RPMs. So it just keeps it a little more peppy. Put the lid on upside down so we can get some extra speed. Oil change, greased the front end, rotated the tires, checked pressure on all 4 tires, and the spare tire, the original spare in the trunk. We got the hood set, so we adjusted the hinges a little bit, and I lowered the hood latch with some washers. That's why this nut's no longer there, because the stud's not long enough. But this corner of the hood shouldn't rattle anymore. It seems to rest pretty firmly on the bumpers and the stop. I think there's a slight bow to the core support, because you can see underneath where somebody jacked up, it looks like right on the core support. So that's either going to have to be bent or replaced. Probably bent on a frame rack at some point, and do that at work. And then the other thing is you got to check your belt tension. A lot of people do the twist, you know. All that seems to be tight enough. That seems to be tight enough. But if you really want to check your belt tension correctly, if you look in your Oldsmobile service manual, it calls for the Oldsmobile belt tension gauge. It has this dial on the side where it says new belt, used belt, too high of a tension, too low of a tension. And the black is what you're trying to set it for. So if we put this on the belt, you want to hook it just like that underneath so that it's wedged in between. You do that. And if you look down, right at the if you get it right in the center of the belt and you look at it, you see it's showing you got a used belt. Not a super used belt, but it is a used belt. That's pretty cool. If you come over here, check your belt tension on this one, and get it hooked right like that. And you look straight down. Used belt. So that's pretty cool. I found this on eBay a while ago, and I just had to have it so I could properly set my belt tension. And yeah, it's a pretty cool tool that I haven't seen anywhere else. I'm sure there's several of them floating around there, but who knows where and who knows who's got them. Yeah, so the Cutlass is all tuned up. She's ready to go for this season so far. Unless something breaks. Fingers crossed it doesn't.